Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Happy Friday to you. I'm Erica. I'm the editor of All Things Madison. Welcome to the Madtown Minute. We've been rolling with this for about 4 months now, so I've lost track of how many we've done. If this is your first time tuning into the Madtown Minute, this is my weekly live segment that I do live on Instagram, and then I will reshare the replay on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, as well as my weekly email. So if you miss it live, you always have lots of opportunities to watch it back. In this segment, what I like to do is talk about what I shared on the website that week, as well as the behind the scenes of those stories. How did they come to be? What were some of my experiences doing those stories that maybe I couldn't write out, as well as just some of my happenings around town. I live in Madison. I'm a community member just like most of you. So I have interactions around town that I like to share in this segment as well. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it and tell you what we covered on the website this week. So for starters, I shared an article on Monday about Burn Boot Camp. So I actually wrote the article about Burn Boot Camp back in September, I believe. So I actually do some writing for some of our print publications, the Madison Record, which is the newspaper, as well as Madison Living. That is our monthly magazine. And so I wrote that story for Madison Living, but part of our partnership we have going on is I can then reprint it as well on my website. So if you missed that edition of Madison Living, you can grab it all around town at different businesses. I like to grab my copies of the Madison Record and Madison Living at Grounded Coffee, but they're available all over town. You can see that story about Burn Boot Camp in the Madison Living, or you can go on allthingsmadison.com and read about that as well. I think what was fascinating to me about that story that I could not wait to talk to the owner about was, how are you doing after launching a business 2 weeks before the pandemic hits? Like, I just can't even imagine having this dream of a business. You work so hard, and then boom, a global pandemic hits. Like, how do you put one foot in front of the other? And really what the owner told me is that you do just that. You just keep going. And they're so happy with the place they're at. They're doing amazing. It was a very convincing business model. Like, I would love to join personally. It seems like it's a great place to work out, great fitness concept. I think the community seems amazing. They have a child watch option that's included in your membership. Just the opportunity for fitness and community all wrapped in one sounds awesome. So you can check out that on that article earlier this week on allthingsmadison.com. I also did a story about Goodwill. So they've been open for about a month. Their new donation center there at the Madison Commons shopping center. They're in the public shopping center on the corner of Browns Ferry and Hughes Road. So they had their official grand opening on Tuesday, and I had the opportunity to talk to Alabama Goodwill's president and CEO, David Wells. And he told me all the behind the scenes of your donations are not just stuff you're cleaning out of your house. They literally are vehicles for how to change people's lives via programs for literacy and writing, and just how to be more self-sufficient for some of their team members. So just learning about the whole Goodwill concept of, it's not just taking your donations and selling them again. It's their desire to keep as much out of landfills as possible. It's their desire to take people who maybe have been incarcerated before. They're really good people, but just having a really hard time bouncing back from that experience. Maybe they're single parents who are just struggling to, how do I get on my feet in the workforce? These were some of the examples he told me. Just people that maybe have struggled to learn to read and write. They will give those people resources and tools and programs to help them be more self-sufficient and launch them into bigger careers. So it's amazing. And that was all about the Goodwill Donation Center. I hope you'll read that article on allthingsmadison.com. Okay, I also did an article about Savannah Demeester. She is the brand new principal at West Madison Elementary School. She was hired back in August, just days before the school year started. Side note, I'm a little biased about Savannah because she is one of my best friends. I have known her since middle school. We went to Discovery Middle School together, Bob Jones together, went our different ways for college, and then moved back here. Our families are here and we love it here. And she is doing amazing at leading that school. I think one of the coolest things about my time spent interviewing her is that everything she told me in our official interview is all the same things that she's been telling me just as her friend for the last few months. She loves that school. She loves Madison City Schools. And I think when you have the chance to talk to someone who sees the behind the scenes and they tell you the truth about what's going on, and it really is as positive as they would like you to think it is, that's amazing. So she loves those teachers and her staff and just generally thinks Madison City Schools is incredible. And she's an amazing leader. And I love talking with her about the angle of what is it like taking your first principal job during a pandemic. Like, how are you doing that? How are you staying so positive? And she was incredible. So I hope you'll go read that article if you're a parent, if you have a student at West Madison, or if you're just interested in what is going on in the schools. How are the kids handling the masks? How are discipline issues going? What can we do to better support our teachers and that sort of thing? I think it's a fascinating article and I hope you'll read it. Okay, finally, about 20 minutes ago, I pressed publish on an article that's all about COVID-19 testing locations. So last week I had a not so fun day. When I was running around town looking for a rapid COVID test. I had a very, very close exposure, thought I might be feeling under the weather a little bit, knew I had a bunch of stuff going on, and obviously don't want to infect anyone. It had been several days, so if I was positive, it would have shown up, and I wanted a rapid test. And it took all day long, a lot of frustration, a lot of phone calls that weren't answered. I just couldn't get a test. Long story short, I did end up finding a test. Paid $125 out of pocket for that I will be billing my own insurance for. Tested negative, praise the Lord. But it was just an eye-opening experience that if I had this kind of experience looking for a rapid test or even a PCR test, one of those tests that takes 48 hours, I know there are other people who are struggling to find these tests as well. So I made a list of all the places in town that offer COVID-19 testing, and I got on the phone with every single one of them and asked them questions. What kind of testing do you do? If people want a test, when should they show up? What are their best chances of showing up at your location and actually walking away with results? So bookmark that one because you never know when someone's going to call you and give you that dreaded news of, hey, I know we were together 4 days ago. I just tested positive for COVID. Most of us have already been in that situation. Or, maybe a family coming in town, whatever. It's a holiday season. That post-holiday surge is unfortunately probably going to hit again. So just know that there are testing locations that if you get there strategically, you should walk away with a rapid or PCR test. So check that out today on allthingsmadison.com. Okay, that's what was on the website that this week. I'd love to talk about some of my interactions around town because I had some really great ones. So I don't think I've mentioned this on the website before, but my husband and I are actually building a new home here in Madison. We live here in Madison, but we're building another home. I told you guys before that we are a military family. My husband is now in the reserve after doing 8 years active duty. When he left active duty, we decided to settle back down and plant our roots in Madison, hoping to be here for the long haul. Well, after 3 years here, we know without a shadow of a doubt we're not leaving. Unless there are other plans for us, we would love to call this place our home for the long haul. We're very, very happy here, and so is our children and our family, and this is home for us. So we are building a home that's better suited for our family, and it's here in Madison. So we went over to Wooldy. It's a big place there on 72. If you are on County Line Road and you head east towards Huntsville, you'll see Wooldy there on your right. Or if you're heading west towards Athens, you'll see Wooldy on your left. And that is a place where you can pick out countertops, tile, flooring, carpet, all sorts of things. So we were in there the other day, had a really great experience. Shout out to all the employees in there. They were fantastic. They have beautiful stuff. So if you're looking for some kind of remodel of some kind or you're building or whatever, check out Wooldy, WOLDE. After we left Wooldy, we actually went on a little dinner date. My parents were watching our kids and my mom said, well, why don't you go grab dinner afterwards? And so we're not going to pass up a date night. And so we said, well, where should we go? And my husband suggested Freddys out of all places. And I think I shocked the heck out of when I said, yes. So we went on a super fancy date to Freddys because we absolutely love it and we never go. And it was so good. Shout out to Cameron Cross. He's their general manager over there. He is so kind. He's such a hardworking dad and husband, has his 4th little baby on the way, and he is just running such a great show over there. They spoiled the heck out of us. We had such a great meal, and we had ice cream, and we took home some sauce, and we just love Freddys. So, it is in Madison mailing address, but technically, because you guys know the city lines are so bizarre, it actually is a Huntsville business, which is so strange. But it is in Madison, right around the corner. So, and it's doing really well. So they're actually building one in Decatur too, which is great. Happy for that owner who actually owns Marco's on County Line as well. So super nice people, love to support hardworking local business owners. And shout out to Heather, the owner's daughter. Heather was there that night, and I had talked with her before Freddys' grand opening, and she was just so sweet. She said she watches the Madtown Minute every single week. She loves following all things Madison. She just made me so happy. And anyway, Heather, shout out to you if you're watching this. I loved meeting you and hope to see you soon. Okay, let's see. I had an experience with 5 Boys screen printing this week. They are there on Jetplex Drive, kind of in the County Line Road, Highway 20 realm. Hey, Cherie. And I had some items personalized there. Had a really good experience. My order online, it was struggling to go through, so someone emailed me, Paige Parker, and we got my order done easy. So really great experience with 5 Boys. All Things Madison would love to have some merch in 2021, so keep an eye out for that. If you're interested in that, let me know, and I would love to go ahead and start rolling out some merch, such as some shirts or some coffee mugs or whatever. So keep an eye out for that. Let's see. Oh, and then finally, you may have seen my Instagram post where I talked about a blood drive. So one of my close friends and I, we went on livesouth.org, searched our zip code, found a mobile blood mobile that we went and donated blood. We were really curious about the antibody for COVID. We haven't gotten our results back yet. I just checked my portal a few minutes ago. Don't have them yet to see if I have the antibody. But we had a good experience, and I was talking with the employees there on the bus, and they said that they're in a critical need for blood, that a lot of people who are regular blood donors are not donating at this time. So they need blood. So if you've never donated blood before, that could be a great thing that you go ahead and dabble with. It's also a great way to find out if you have the COVID-19 antibody. So anyway, all right, well, that's all I have for you this week for the Madtown Minute. We have a pretty quiet weekend on tap that we are happy about. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend as well. I know a lot of us are check marking our last few boxes before Christmas. My kids are doing a snow dance because right now it looks like there's a 50% chance of snow on either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Some of you may remember, I think the last time it snowed here was Christmas Day 2010, and we may have gotten 4 or 5 inches. It was so much fun. So anyway, looking forward to that. And that's all I have for you. So I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you back on All Things Madison Monday. Have an awesome weekend.